Hello everybody, welcome to Dakman Productions and welcome to the Train Doctor. And we are here with Rem, the owner. I promised him that I would be back. Now, I did make a video before which I highlighted the stuff or the trains that they have for sale and that they sell. So I wanted to come back for a second time and highlight behind the scenes of how your trains get repaired, the repair procedures. I got get some of the guys in action actually repairing the trains. So with Rem's permission, he is allowing me to get behind the scenes and shoot all that so you guys can see what it's like. So one of the things in your first video you said you're primarily a repair business.
Yes, we are. That's our claim to fame.
And I don't know of too many repair businesses that do this in this magnitude. I mean, because this is a pretty big shop. And so you have 5 guys who are working with you or working for you?
We have 5 guys as technicians. We have a parts manager. We have 2 ladies, 1 bookkeeper, 1 is in shipping, and is my all-around troubleshooter. And,
okay.
And I also have 2 counter guys.
Oh wow, very nice. Yeah. And so you have to be one of the biggest repair places around. I mean,
I believe we are the largest toy train repair facility and upgrade center in the United States. I don't think anybody comes close to what we do here or what we have here.
Yeah, and we're about to see all that. So we're going to back that claim up. We're going to take a tour of the back shop. So if you guys are looking to see what it's like when you send something here, you're going to want to stay tuned. Now, when people want to send something to you to be repaired after they see this video, because I'm sure they will, how do they go and start the process?
Well, they can start the process either by calling us, and we'll take the information over the phone, or they can go to our website and follow the repair menu, which will take them to a location where they can request a repair, where they put their, we'll collect a $40 deposit that is, that gets credited to the final repair, and the full process is explained there. Okay,
and once their train is in repair, locomotive, whatever have you, the process is going through, do they get updates?
Yeah, they will get updates. They will get, when the item is received, they will receive a computer-generated repair assignment from us.
Okay.
That shows that it was received. And after that, they could either log on to our website with the information that they are sent to verify the status, or they can call for the status, and when it's completed, they will get an invoice from us.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this tour. We'll look at the behind the scenes, so let's go. We're with Steve behind the scenes on how your trains get painted, repaired, whatever your needs are from the Train Doctor. So we are here in their machine shop, and Steve's going to talk to us a little bit about this. So what are we looking at here, Steve?
Well, I have my lathe here. Sometimes I have to make parts via pre-war parts, standard gauge parts, whatever. Have to make them that way. Here's a mill machine, obviously drill press, vise, sandblasting booth, which comes in handy all the time when I do repainting. My compressor, which powers the whole shop.
Oh wow!
This is, you know, I pipe through and everything. It goes that way. My booth, my painting booth.
Okay.
I keep the light off a lot of times because of the sound of it. These I'm in the process of doing right now.
Wow, these look really good.
We're making our own stripes. Okay. These are factory. I just had to do a little touch-up on them. They had some marks on them and everything.
So these stripes are your own stripes that you guys put on yourselves. These are dry transfers?
Those are dry transfers. They're not decals. They're not stickers. They're dry transfers.
Wow, those look like they came right out of the factory.
Right.
I mean, that looks really good.
That's what makes a GG1 is the stripes and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys do paint work besides repairs?
Yes.
It looks like.
I've been painting. These are 2 custom paints I'm working on now for people.
That looks good.
This one is going to end up like this.
I did not know that you guys did custom painting as well.
I don't do a lot of it because of the amount of time that it takes to do this kind of work. But I do it. I've been doing it for about 20 years, but like I said, I don't do tons of it and everything. I got my hands so full in everything else that I just don't have time to do tons of it and everything.
And the stripes?
That's all done by hand.
It's all crisp.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got the lines that crisp on there, but
there's a trick to it. It's actually quite easily done, to be honest with you.
I mean, the same way with this. Everything's just nice, crisp lines.
Yeah, be honest with you, this one I got to repaint. I got a couple bleed spots down here, which I'm not too happy with, that I have to redo before I put any markings on it.
Looks really good though. This is all incoming repairs that are coming into the Train Doctor. You can see they get put in bins, they get tagged, waiting for parts. So everything's got tags on them, it looks like. Repair tags. So everything in here is all repairs?
This is all repairs that we have not gotten to yet.
Okay.
That and the ones behind you.
Okay, and the ones behind me are all this?
All these 2 aisles here.
Oh, both of those are? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, yeah, now I can see, yeah, you guys
We're actually very slow right now.
And this is slow.
This is slow.
Look at this, guys. These are all repairs needing to be done. And when is you guys' busy season in case somebody,
Usually we start going nuts around September, and we start slowing down around, this time, and then it's a cycle, then it goes over and over and over again.
Alright, so if you guys are looking to get something upgraded, repaired, that's probably the best time to do it is when they're slow like this, I'm sure. And so this is what you have to deal with when you come in.
Yeah, but then in front of each station,
okay,
you have more repairs. Like he has that he's working on these down here, and the ones on on his table.
Oh, so
these are more repairs.
More repairs up here. Okay. Also, these are all staged and everybody.
These are still repairs that have to be done.
Wow.
And all this in here, all this, and he's got a couple down here.
All right.
These are all customers' repairs that are in the process of. The ones in the back are the ones we haven't gotten to yet.
Oh, okay. So these are
in the process.
So when they're staged in front like this, they're in the process of being repaired.
Correct.
And so, want to catch this booth here. And what's his name again?
Justin.
Justin. So what is Justin working on today?
This is a MTH locomotive. It's a PS2. I just got into it, so I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with it, but I changed the battery in it.
Okay. So you guys got a process where you diagnose them, you take them apart, and do your repairs and stuff like that.
Yeah, usually with something like this, you want, especially MTH engines, you want to take it apart first and check the batteries, because if they have dead batteries, it can cause a lot of problems, especially with the older MTH. I mean, the newer ones, PS3s don't really need, the battery isn't as critical, but PS1, PS2 are both pretty reliant on it, so you always want to check that first and then give it a quick test.
I noticed you guys have a computer screen in front of you, like
because all the repairs are brought into the store, and they have a tag number on them.
Oh.
And that tag number corresponds to all the information for the customer and what's wrong with the engine, and also so we can trace it. So when it comes in, it goes on those far shelves back that way.
Okay.
When we're looking, and then when we get a hold of them, then we change it to, let's say, Justin's bench or Mike's bench or my bench, that way. And then when it's completed, then it goes into another room, which is back here.
Oh, okay.
And these are all the completed repairs.
Everything
here and so
completed comes in here.
Yep. There's a process, we have to trace them so we don't lose anybody's repairs and so forth. We work on any engines from, like I recently did some number 6, number 5 standard gauge engines. They're from like 1910, 1905 in that area.
Wow.
All the way up to modern day Lionel and MTH and third rail and things of that nature.
Very nice. It looks like you got quite a few things over here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in the processes of that, we got to keep them organized so, we know where things are and get our hands on them. Once in a while, we'll misplace something a little bit, but we find it right away. We're getting old, so our memory sometimes gets a little laxing.
And here's another station. I mean, there's a lot of different electrical parts out on this one. So this is the main electrical.
This is the main heavy electrical area where we do all the diagnosing with the circuit boards and so forth.
Wow. Now, do you guys have like circuit board testers for doing
Yes, they're over here. This is a Proto 3. I'm sorry, Proto 2. This is Proto 3.
So those were testing Proto 3 and Proto 2.
Boards.
Okay.
This is Proto 1. No, I'm sorry, this one's Lionel's system. And this is a MTH Proto 1 board.
So exactly what do you do here, Steve, at your station?
Basically, I do a little bit of everything, anywhere from pre-war standard gauge things that date back like 1906, 1910, all the way up to 1980s, vintage, 1990s. Whether it be Lionel or MTH or American Flyer. I did do a lot of HO before Al started working here. And believe it or not, I used to work on Z gauge when I was younger.
Oh man, I can't imagine.
I worked on Z gauge, yes I did.
Wow.
But no more.
No more.
No more, I can't do that no more. Like right now I'm working on a tender. I'm rebuilding a tender there.
Okay.
Bits and pieces that I'm in the process of cleaning and rewiring and putting back together again.
So this is a whistle steam tender? Or?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That is a whistle tender, yes. And that's for a 665 steamer, which I have to go through. This needs a good cleaning and rebuilding and so forth for a customer.
Wow. And when people bring in the older stuff like that, they just want it's like a childhood memory of theirs. They just want to see it running.
A lot of times it's nostalgia. A lot of times, yes, it does come down to personal pieces for that person, that individual when he was growing up. We see a lot of that. You never want to interrupt somebody's memories.
Right, yeah.
A lot of times people will ask me to repaint things, and I won't repaint an item just because it's got a couple scratches to it. You know, I'll say, you know, do you remember when you got the scratch? And they'll be, yes, I do. Well, if I repaint it, I'm going to take that memory away.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I personally don't like doing things like that. This engine here is the guts for that 2340 GG1 in the back that you saw that I was repainting. This is the guts for it that I just recently redid yesterday. This is one that I have to finish. I have to put wheels on this one. Here's another one that I got to put wheels on and redo. And these are the stores. These are not customers. These are all going to go up for sale.
Okay.
This is all customer stuff that, you know, I'm waiting on.
Yeah, I remember you guys talking about you guys had customers from all over the world. You guys talking about you have one that something all the way from India.
Yeah, we just got an email the other day from a customer who's going to send us a number of Lionel engines. We don't know which ones, but they're from India. We've dealt with people from Germany, from England, New Zealand, a lot of people from Canada, all around the United States. I can't remember them all, be honest with you.
It's just amazing how many people have Lionel stuff across the world like that. I'm just thinking small, like I would never expect Lionel to be outside of the United States.
It's all over the place. You got to be careful because some of the electronics are like over in Europe, they're 220 voltage and so forth, where here we're 110.
Right.
So yeah, there are problems sometimes when it deals with that. But we can usually overcome that quite easily.
And over here, let's talk about this is your programming track.
This is the programming track for MTH Proto 2 and Proto 3 engines. Once we do an upgrade onto the locomotive, into the locomotive and so forth, when we reprogram the sounds and so forth, it's done here at this station instead of being done at one of the other stations. Sometimes the programming might take half hour, an hour to do, so there's no reason to be holding up another station of work where we have a dedicated one specifically for programming.
All right, and let's talk about this this bench press. What would you guys be doing over here?
This one and this one are used for pressing wheels on and off, pressing wheels on a locomotive, depending on the time period and everything. These are all the different cups that we would use for different diameter wheels. Sometimes you need to press, let's say, couplers and rivets, detail and things. Well, that's what these presses are used for. Obviously, bench grinder, wire wheel, buffing wheels for rods and things of that nature.
I'm looking at this wire. This is pretty interesting. This ribbon, you guys got ribbon wire.
That's for American Flyer.
Wow, that is pretty nice.
This is all different diameters, different colors. This is for Lionel's crane. You got 3 conductor, 4 conductor wire, and so forth for various different accessories and so forth.
So you even keep
that I believe that's 6 conductor there.
Yeah. So you guys even keep the ribbon wire.
Yeah, we have to keep good. We do a lot of accessories for repairs and everything. We rewire a lot because obviously the wire dry rots, and we have to replace it. Or like the tender I'm working on now on my bench, every tender gets rewired because the contacts are always bad. The wires are always broken, so we put all new wire on it. We do have cloth wire for pre-war trains.
Oh, really?
Yep, that's cloth wire.
Oh, yeah.
Versus the regular insulated wire. This is, what do you call it? The
This
shrink
is pretty
wrap tubing.
small. What gauge is this wire?
I believe that's 28, I believe.
28?
Use, yes. But it's extremely flexible. That's what you want to use.
I feel that, yeah.
Especially underneath the tender or whatever, you got to use flexible because of the wheels turning back and forth.
It is very, I mean, it feels almost like a rubber band.
We have, this is the standard stuff. We have stuff a lot thinner for that when we're dealing with HO and N gauge. This is even too thick for those trains. We have to use something thinner for that.
Okay. But it makes sense you would want something flexible because the trucks are always turning.
That's correct.
And then eventually it would just break the strands.
It will break. That's correct.
That's why most manufacturers recommend to people to run their trains on the widest radius they can fit.
Widest radius possible is the best thing in the world because it's less resistance of the wheels on the train going around in circles and everything. You can go a little bit higher speed that way. It's less wear and tear on the trains.
And the wiring.
And the wiring, yes.
Yeah, it all makes sense to me now, seeing all this behind the scenes.
When people used to come into me and say, well, what radius should I use on my layout? My answer is all the time, the largest radius you can put down.
Yeah.
The largest one you can do. Don't skimp on things. Done once and over with.
There you go. There's your recommendation to you guys. So you guys that are like, oh, I got this locomotive that's rated for 054 to run on 048. Don't do it. Yeah. Don't do it. All right.
If you can put 72 down, put 72 down. If you can put 82 down, that's even better. But a lot of people don't have that kind of radius. So you put the biggest one you can put down. Also, you're not limited on what engines you're going to buy.
Right, yeah.
Because you might want a big boy that runs on 72, but you only put down 36. Well, you can't run one of these big boys on it for that very reason.
Yeah.
And you think, well, I wish I had.
Right, okay. Oh, that makes sense. And you guys, I'm going to give you a pan around of just the whole entire workshop. They have 5 repair guys.
Correct.
Yeah, so they have 5 repair guys that are working full time. These are not part-time guys to serve you and get your trains repaired. And if you're looking to do upgrades, the best time to do it is when Steve mentioned it, because they do get busy during Christmas with the repairs for people who want their Christmas trains repaired, basically, right?
Well, at Christmas time, we have a contract with Santa. All the upgrades and time repairs and everything get basically put aside. We work on things specifically for Christmas repairs, all right, at that time to get things done for Santa.
All right, so once again, we're behind the scenes here at the Train Doctor, here at 1 Meridian Road, Eatontown, New Jersey. And if you're looking to get your trains repaired, whether it's Marks or O-Gauge, HO, multiple manufacturer repairs done here, multiple scales. The only thing I think he said they don't do is N and Z, right?
That's correct.
Okay. The phone number is 732-660-7062, or you go on traindoctor.com to also schedule your repair, correct?
Correct.
And you can go on that website and start your repair order there. And the only thing I ask is you guys make sure you box your stuff up really well. The last time I was here, there was somebody who sent something that wasn't boxed up too well.
Make sure you send in your information, your name, number, email address, all the viable information. We have got trains here. As a matter of fact, there's one right behind me that customer sends us an engine that we really don't need, and we don't know what to do with it.
Oh.
Okay, we don't know who owns it. We don't know nothing. Okay, so make sure that, and yes, make sure the train is boxed up quite well. We've received them where they have been broken in transit. All right, and there's no damage to the outside of the box, so the shipping company will not honor it whatsoever.
Correct.
And obviously put insurance on it, so.
Yes. So we have the HO DD40X running, being test run with the lock sound install. Is that an air raid siren right here?
Correct. When they were first delivered, they had one.
Are you serious? I did not know that.
They did.
The real one?
Yes. It was for warning MOW crews that there was a very large diesel approaching.
I never knew that.
I didn't know it either until he told me that too.
That's why I like coming out to places like that, because I always learn something new. I did not know that the DD40X actually had an air raid siren installed on the real thing.
I think on when Athearn did the re-release of these, they also included one in the box so you could stick on the top of the cab. On a older model, such as this,
Oh, that's it. Okay.
as you can see, it had a bespoke decoder installed in it. So that will involve getting basically a landing board. They're called decoder buddies, which will sit right here. You connect all your wires to it, speakers, pickups, lights, motor, and then it gives you basically a little landing board on top, which you can then plug in the decoder, which is this Lexan V5. So it'll basically, there'd be like a little set of pins here, and then just clip it in, and then once everything's all nice and happy that way. This is an N-scale piece, for example, but basically we put it out on this little test track, and then we go into our look programmer, program the address, and then start the process of writing the sound data, which could take up to half an hour.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering how long that would take.
Yeah, so essentially getting all this stuff programmed takes about 30 seconds, but you basically are rewriting a whole new set of firmware to the decoder, telling it this is what, when somebody presses F2, you're going to use this horn sound. If you press F3, that's the air raid siren, but all that stuff has to be loaded onto the decoder, which takes a considerable amount of time. The original Lionel test fixture, which is this one over here, this is one that fixture Lionel supplied to the different repair centers. So this one here, on the TMCC, there's basically 4 boards. Okay, you see 3 of them right here. The radio board and 2 rail sounds boards. But it does not test the driver board, the board that for the motion. Okay, and so this fixture won't really test that, but it tests these other 3 boards, and in most cases it uses LEDs to for like things like the smoke, to see if the smoke is on, but it doesn't have a smoke unit. So this fixture was okay for testing these 3 boards, but there was nothing to test the driver board. And if I wanted to see if the boards could actually open the couplers, all right, here it tests the couplers, but only with an LED. There's actually no coupler on here. It does have a speaker for the sound and then the volume. So what I did was the first fixture, this one here, basically does what that one there does. All right, it uses the same motherboard, the same 3 boards, okay, but this one has a motor on it. Okay, so this one can test these boards, but it doesn't test the driver board. But it allows me to test to see if the chuff is working on the boards and things like that, which that one doesn't really show you. So this one has a motor and it's got couplers. So instead of LEDs, we actually connect the actual devices so we can see, it's a more realistic test. However, this board cannot test the individual driver boards. So Lionel made basically 3 different driver boards when it comes to TMCC. They have the ACDR, which is used with the old Pulmar AC motors, and then there's 2 DC motor circuits that they use, non-Odyssey and Odyssey. So this fixture here basically will test non-Odyssey or Odyssey boards.
Oh.
So yeah, this one here, this is a DCDR. So this is the DC motor driver board, but without Odyssey, without speed control. And these are the 3 boards that you saw in the other fixture, but this is designed specifically for testing the driver board. You can see we have a DC motor here, and it's got sound hooked up. If I want to test an Odyssey board, then this is an Odyssey board. So I can only have one of these boards connected up. So you can see this is AC power to this board. So right now, the DCDR, the non-Odyssey board, is disconnected and you're not being tested. But the Odyssey board has got the connector. So right now, if I play power to this, it would actually test this board here. Now, the only thing we cannot test on this is mainly to test the driver, the MOSFETs, the driver transistors. But as far as testing the Odyssey circuitry,
Right.
there's no way for us to really test that with this fixture, or you'd actually have to put this in an engine and run it around the track, around turns, to see if the Odyssey keeps the speed constant or not. However, you can tell that the Odyssey is basically working because on this motor here, there's no feedback sensor that the Odyssey uses. And so when you connect an Odyssey board and the motor doesn't have a speed sensor, a feedback sensor, what will happen is as soon as you apply voltage to this board with the remote, the Odyssey board will apply full voltage to this board and it'll just take off because there's no feedback. And that's one of the symptoms of an Odyssey system where the speed sensor has failed. On the early TMCC engines, without the feedback, the engines would just take off. And then they'll run right off the track. We've actually had a couple engines came in because they had that problem. Later on, with the legacy engines, they changed the coding in the board so that it wouldn't just take off. It'll go for a while and then stop and then go. It's what they call hunting. To prevent it from just taking off.
All right.
But on this one here, as soon as I apply just a little bit of speed to this thing takes off. So it's basically telling you that the Odyssey is basically working because it's not getting a feed because there's no feedback signal. But there are some features in the Odyssey, for instance, special lighting that's used for things like if you're testing, say, ditch lights or any of the other special running lights, then those are outputs off of this board that you'll only find on an Odyssey board, and that I don't have tested. This fixture is basically to see when we get an engineer where everything works but it just doesn't move. First thing we usually do is we apply DC voltage to the motor to test the motor, and if the motor goes, then we know it's usually a problem with this board or the circuitry that controls this board. So at that point, we'll take the board out, put it in the fixture. We get no movement here. We know the board is bad.
And this is the driver board?
Yes, this is basically, this one's called the DCDS. This one's called the DCDR.
Okay.
These are the boards that actually control the movement of the engine. This fixture here is one for. This is actually a Blunami test fixture.
Oh, you got one from Blunami.
Yeah. So basically, I built this test fixture initially so that we could before we started doing Blunami upgrades, we wanted a way of testing certain features that Blunami doesn't support natively, to make sure that we can get them to work on a test fixture before we actually put them into an engine. You see the Blunami board, which is this one. There's actually two different Blunami boards. This one here is the one that we usually use for engines like this, and this is the smaller one. This can be used with S-scale, HO, and I've used it on some small O gauge engines with small DC motors. This one's only a 2 amp board. This is a 4 amp board. The Blunami gives you sound, it gives you motion, it has all kind of lighting features. You can, whatever lighting feature you want for the headlight, you can do Mars, you could do oscillating, standard, I mean, you could do anything you want through the app. But it's not designed to drive a smoke unit,
Okay.
or couplers. Okay, so for that you have to add additional circuitry. So here I have a 2 amp board that is used to drive the smoke unit, because these things do not have that kind of output. You cannot drive a smoke unit, it draws too much current. So you have to add a separate power supply board with a relay. So this is a relay here, and so it allowed me to make sure we can get Blunami working with a smoke unit here before we actually put it into an engine. The next thing I'm working on are couplers, which you would have to do almost the same kind of thing, a separate power supply. And now that the fixture is built, so now if we get a Blunami upgrade that we do, but it comes back because it stopped working, we could take the Blunami board out, we can put it in here in the fixture and test the features. That'll let us know whether the board is okay or if there's something else like in the wiring.
Okay.
But yeah, this and this is actually a diesel board, so this actually can control the diesel. This is the rectifier board that you need to use with Blunami. It converts the AC to DC, because Blunami has to have DC voltage input. It cannot use AC that we use on these tracks here. So this is required to drive the voltage for this guy here. This is an additional DC to DC converter, so that you can adjust the DC voltage coming into here. So if it's too high coming out of here, you'll need to adjust the voltage coming in. Again, this one is a 2 amp board that's used to just drive the smoke unit itself. So, you know, with the Blunami, a lot of people, if they have like an engine like this here, and they want to do Blunami, a lot of times they'll want smoke and they'll want couplers. So, you know, you have to add additional circuitry. The Blunami engineers, I asked them whether they would, at some point in the future, provide things like a chuff, because that's the other thing. On the smoke unit, if you put in an engine like this, it does not provide synchronized smoke with the chuff.
Oh.
It's just steady smoke, because the chuff is generated internally within the Blunami board, and they don't take that output does not come out to the board, so we have nothing to synchronize with. And so you could put, you know, a reed switch with a magnet on the wheels, which is what we do for chuffing on engines that don't have a built-in chuff switch, but it may not be synchronized with the sound. You know, it might be a little bit off. So that's the only thing. So a lot of these that have the smoke unit on Blunami, on a steam engine, a lot of times the smoke is just steady smoke. That's not synchronized, but you have a smoke unit.
Okay.
So we're always working on a lot of different things. One of the things I'm looking at is to put with the Blunami a sound system that will do station announcements.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, I have this unit here, and we're looking to market this through Train Doctor. We're planning, I guess, on the next when we go to the next train show, maybe York, you know, in October. What we're going to do is we're probably going to showcase some of our service features, you know, some of the options that you have with the engines. I have a Lionel diesel that's got Blunami in it. We'll probably bring that one along. But this one here is basically a box that provides station announcements, and the way I designed this one is so that somebody could add this to like a post-war conventional layout. So somebody that has a post-war conventional layout, does not have MTH DCS or Lionel Legacy, doesn't have any of the high-end control systems, but maybe they want things like station sounds. They want some digital sounds without having to spend the money to upgrade to a DCS or a Lionel TMCC system, which will cost you several $100s. They just want to run conventional engines, but maybe they just want like station announcements. This connects to track power. So it's powered up by track power. You just connect it to the same transformer that powers up your track. And there's two Lionel push button switches here. These are from the Supero track, so Supero switches, momentary switches. One of them, one raises the volume and one lowers the volume. When you hold it down, when you just momentarily touch them, it sequences to the next station announcement. On this module, the MP3 module that I have in here, I have 4 custom station announcements. And what I did was I did station announcements for probably the 4 most popular passenger engines that were ever, in use. The first one on there is the Blue Comet. The second one is the 20th Century Limited.
Nice.
The third one is the Broadway Limited, the Pennsylvania Railroad Broadway Limited. And the fourth one is the Santa Fe Super Chief. And so what I did was the announcements, the station announcements, last about a minute and a half. And it sequences through 4 different announcements. So it starts off announcing the arrival of a train on track 1 or track 2. In other words, it could be like the Blue Comet now arriving from Atlantic City on track 2. And in the background, you'll hear background sounds that you normally hear in a train station. In fact, the background sounds were taken from a recording from New York's Grand Central Station. What you'll do is you'll hear people talking in the background, talking about the timetable, when's the next train leaving, and you'll hear actually like a woman walking in high heels walking through the station. Meanwhile, the announcements, I recorded the announcements, and so I added echo to the announcement, so it sounds like it's actually in a train station. And like 20 or 30 seconds later, it'll announce that the train is now leaving for Atlantic City, and it's boarding on track 2, so it's the boarding announcement. Then the third announcement is the announcement that it'll be departing in 5 minutes. You need to get your tickets ready, get to the engine. And then the fourth announcement is the all aboard.
All aboard, okay.
The train is now leaving, all aboard. So that all takes about a minute and a half, and then it shuts off. So this is something that you could just put on your layout. You don't have to change any of the wiring and the track wiring. Basically, you got to do is connect it to track power. This is just a demo, a test model, but the next one we do, the production model, will probably have the wires come out to the bottom so you can bring it out to the table so you won't see the wires. And then you can have the switches by where your transformers are and by activating the buttons. And it's pretty loud. I have a Lionel Baby Fat Boy speaker in there.
Oh, wow.
The MP3 module can handle up to a 3-watt speaker, so the Baby Fat Boy is a 2-watt speaker. And it's actually, if you got the volume or turned all the way up, it is pretty loud. You should be able. So we want to do that purposely so you can hear it at a train show, because the train show is a lot of noise and stuff like that.
Yeah, correct.
So that you should be able, to hear it. So what I'm working on next is to take this same sound system here and put it in a Blunami. So what I was going to do is, instead of using this board to drive the smoke unit, I'm going to drive the smoke unit directly from track power, which means that you won't be able to turn the smoke unit on and off. Like right now, I could turn the smoke unit on and off with the app, the Blunami app.
Okay.
But I will need another module like this, similar to this one, to drive the sound system.
Okay.
So, and the challenge is having enough room to put all this extra stuff in there.
Yeah.
So what I'm probably going to do is use this guy, instead of driving the smoke unit, use this guy to drive the sound unit. And the board with the MP3 module is very small. So, and then this way you'd be able to turn on the station announcements and turn up and lower the volume using the Blunami app. So that when an engine, so similar to what MTH has, you know, the PFA announcements, the
Right.
passenger freight announcements, that you'll hit the PFA button and then you sequence it by hitting the direction button. Basically, it would be similar. You would just hit a button to start the announcement. But in mine, rather than keep hitting the direction button, basically it'll just sequence through all the announcements for like a minute and a half and then stop. And then you'll be able to also adjust the volume.
Oh.
So, yeah, so, you know, I got stuff like that I'm working on. I have also controllers that are used to control accessories, but using, again, infrared instead of using like an isolated track section to turn on an accessory.
I do like that
use
idea.
infrared.
I like infrared myself.
Yeah, so well, again, the advantage there is that if you already got a conventional layout, you don't want to have to take the tracks apart or anything like that. Basically, it's just putting the infrared sensors on, you know, and on the track, senses the train going by. You just run the wires underneath the table, and then there's a microcontroller, a programmable microcontroller that is used to activate the accessories. It uses regular AC power with relays because you can't drive these Lionel accessories directly with low voltage boards, so you have to use a relay to drive it, and the relays are turned on and off with the microcontroller. The nice thing about that unit is that you have one for each track, and it can do any number of accessories. So if you have like 4 crossings, you can drive all 4 crossings with that one controller,
nice.
just with different infrared sensors at each crossing. You
Okay.
can turn on lights, any kind of accessory can be turned on with this microcontroller. So this is some of the stuff that we're working on to try and provide different options, especially for people that have older conventional layouts where they want a little bit more sophistication, but they don't want to have to spend the big bucks to get the DCS system and stuff because they're running older engines, conventional, but maybe, they want some automated control without having to tear their layout apart.
Right.
And rewire things. You just have to add the extra wiring.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it, things like that. The other thing is, the other thing that we run into a lot of times is getting the parts for these engines. We could pretty much fix just any kind of engine or any kind of problem, but a lot of times the parts are not available, and so now we have to come up with different options or alternatives for people. They have an engine, the board goes bad, the board is no longer available, but it's $1,000 engine.
Right.
What do you do with this thing? So we've been doing a lot of upgrades, but different type of upgrades. Like for instance, we have this one here is this is an MTH PS1 engine, okay, AB set, but the owner has a Lionel layout. He likes the MTH engines. The PS1 engines, you can pick them up pretty reasonable.
Yep.
They're good running engines. They got good smoke units in them. But he wants to run, he doesn't have an empty DCS layout. He wants a Lionel layout. So what we did was we took out the PS1 components and put in the TMCC components. The ER, we did the ER upgrade. So, it's things like that where sometimes the owners, they want, other options, We just did a PS1 to PS3 upgrade, but it was a very unusual upgrade because it was an ABA set, similar to this one here. This is a Lionel, but we had a PS1 Santa Fe ABA set that was all PS1, but the owner wanted to upgrade PS3, but he just didn't want one engine with the sound unit. He wanted sound in all 3 engines.
Oh.
Plus he wanted smoke in all 3 engines. The dummy doesn't come with smoke unit or sound. The B unit has motor drive, has motors, and it's got a smoke unit but no sound. The A unit had no smoke unit but sound. But what he wanted was smoke and sound in all 3 engines.
Oh.
So that when he's running this layout at his show, because he belongs to a railroad club, he wants to make sure everybody can hear. So we just finished that one a couple of weeks ago, and that took quite a bit of customization. But the sounds in that thing are ear piercing. I mean, it's really loud. But that's what he wanted. That was a $1,500 upgrade.
Wow.
I mean, there are people, but the thing is that there's people that they want these options, and we try to do it if we can. You know, sometimes we can and sometimes we can't. And so being able to provide options, you know, for people when the regular standard repair just doesn't apply or we can't get the parts. And what we try to do is we try to give them alternatives.
Well, that's nice.
So in some cases, like I had a line chief engine, or the line chief board. It was an AA set, where the line chief board was no longer available from Lionel. But he loved the engine. He loved the set. So, and all of his line chief engines he runs with Bluetooth. So he likes a Bluetooth. So I said, well, what we could do is we could put Blunami in. Now, you know, it's a fairly expensive option for a line chief engine, but it allowed him to still run Bluetooth with all his other Bluetooth stuff. So the Blunami is a Bluetooth app. So we put Blunami in it, and he was really, really happy with that. So again, it's, you know, being able to provide alternatives. And in some cases we're successful. In some cases, you know, there's just so much you can do.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, but our biggest challenge is sometimes with the newer engines is getting parts. That's our biggest challenge. I think if we could get the parts, we could pretty much fix anything, you know, but it becomes a challenge a lot of times. So we're always looking at different alternatives to doing the repairs. And it can be a challenge, but it's also a lot of fun. So, you know, it's a lot of fun. I mean, let's face it. You know? Yeah. But so it's a little bit of what we do here.
Everything that we work on has to be tested, okay, before it goes out the door. We have different gauges, different radiuses. Some engines will only run on X amount of radius track.
Correct.
The customer says his train derails. Okay, well, we ask a lot of times, not all the time, but we try to ask what radius track you're doing, so we double check it on that radius track.
And generally, after the repair, how long does that locomotive run on the test track for?
We'll run it anywhere from 5 minutes to a half hour per repair and so forth. Like I did one yesterday from Sandy, believe it or not, I'm still doing Sandy repairs. Okay, and I ran the engine for a good half hour before I actually boxed it up just to double check everything and make sure it was working correctly.
Okay, so we're behind the scenes in the shipping area, and we are with, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi there, I'm Dow. I work over in the shipping and receiving department at the Train Doctor. Basically, whenever we get something into the store, I put it online so that it can be easily tracked in store and then bought online as well. I package up repairs, I package up orders, I price out collections.
Wow.
If it's anything online, pretty much I do it while I'm here.
All right, and then you also are listing things on a website called Train Seller, correct? So if you guys are looking to buy something from the Train Doctor, be www.trainseller.com.
Yes, and then that's seller, C-E-L-L-A-R.
Okay. Yep, just want to make sure I'm getting all that right. And so all the repairs that are made are being shipped out from this area here. Just want to pan around here so you guys can see. And So, do you also bring in incoming repairs as well and put that into the computer?
Yep, so that's typically done by the people in the whoever is working the counter that day. I work the counter sometimes.
Okay.
But it's all the same system. So if something was to come back here, I could put it into the system. I know how to. But typically they do it in the front, then it goes to the repair team, then it comes to me, and then it goes back out into the world.
All right, so now you guys get to see there really is a real customer service online. Thanks a lot.
Of course.
All right.
Particular item, it'll tell you where we have it in here.
Okay, I see you got bin numbers on everything.
Yes, everything's got a number on it. And hopefully the right item is in the bin.
So when you look at the item that says B24, it should be in B24.
Correct.
Okay.
Like these are your American Flyer pieces here.
Okay.
AF is for American Flyer. These W's here are the larger, like say, boxes of stuff. You know,
So there's a method to the madness.
there is definitely a method to it. Yes, there's no questions.
Because I was going to ask you, what does the W and the B and the C?
That's just the way we have it labeled out.
It's on the computer screen.
That's just
For instance.
how, you know, we got W's, you got A's, B's, C's, and then there's S's, and then over here you got T's and you got G's.
Right.
That's just a way of us trying to keep tabs on the parts. Like,
C67, 66. Pull C66.
C66.
that's over that way.
Yes.
And we should have in there some 2cc for dummy units. There they are.
Oh, wow.
And the other is smoke unit wick. And they're your smoke unit wicks. So that's how we find them. You can find them by number, by bin, how many we have, and the actual name.
Very nice. You guys are very well organized.
So, if you want an E unit, we got E units. This is all E units in here. We have brand new ones. If you can open the box. We have, obviously, most of them are used. We rebuild them all the time. It's not a big deal to rebuild. There's Dally parts here. This is for steam front ends for 1960s vintage. Wheel assemblies, trucks. You got the diodes.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
There's all different ratings, diodes.
Yeah, diodes are a must.
You got, yeah. That's the transformer knobs, barrels.
Let me ask you guys, let me ask you this. So all these parts, these are just for your inventory. You don't sell these online?
No, we very, very, very rarely will sell parts over the counter or online or anything like that. We use them for our repairs
Your
that
repairs.
come in. A lot of times things get misplaced. We know we have things, but they get misplaced. So if somebody calls up looking for a windshield for an F3 or something, and we know we have them, we can't find them. It'll take sometimes an hour to find it, and we just only sell it for $2. Then we're losing money on that. So we just don't very rarely get involved in things of that nature.
Well, I don't blame you. You're a repair shop. So
Yeah, we go through.
There you go.
Here you go. He found the windshield right away. Thanks, Les. You know, if you need like these
That's the guy that knows where everything's at.
rollers,
Look at the amount of rollers.
yeah. Well, what about this drawer here? You need an E unit drum.
Oh, what?
That's only one of 3.
Well, Well, it's good that you guys have all these parts in stock. Let me ask you, now I'm really curious. So, what is your, I hear complaints about Lionel boards. I mean, do you guys keep a lot of Lionel boards in stock, or do you have to order them?
The problem with Lionel boards is they're made specifically for that variation of engine, let's say. Okay, sound-wise, and they won't go into any other train. So if we get a board in for a repair, if it's a common board, like for a Polar Express or something like that, we'll usually get 1 or 2 extra ones and keep in stock. Okay, if it's for, let's say, a legacy board, like one of these $2,000 engines that we don't see that often, then we'll only get 1 in. All right, to use it again might take 2 or 3 years, and it's not worth to hold the money up.
I see.
And keep it in inventory that way, unfortunately. Plus, Lionel doesn't have a lot of parts. You know, when you order things, sometimes you get the wrong part, and sometimes you get the no part at all.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that earlier. Lionel sent you some wrong parts.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like with anything else, things do happen. But it comes down to the point where the customer is upset. This is all parts too.
Oh, wow.
Screws, gears, you know, this is all. Some of these are empty down the bottom, but for the majority, they're all.
Now, I see you guys have some trains out here. What's the story about all these?
These pieces here
Yes.
are pieces that we have to redo. They are for sale, but we have to redo these things, and then they go out for sale out front. These are here on Intrum. If somebody comes by and say they're interested in this one car or this engine, then we'll take it out of here. We'll go through it, make sure it runs correctly, the horn works, the couplers, everything is operational. Then it'll go up for sale at that point. That's why sometimes you see some empty holes here. That's because the customer was here the other day and he's buying these particular pieces.
Yeah, you guys have, what is it, a 90-day warranty on that?
That's correct. Everything that we sell has a warranty on it.
So that's why you guys go through it so intensely, because you put a warranty behind it.
That's correct. Before it goes out the door, we will make sure that everything is operational and everything will work for the customer. There, you know, these are some Marks pieces up top.
Very nice. So there's always some kind of project going on then.
It's never slow. Absolutely never slow.
What are all these shelves over here that we're looking at?
These shelves here are all basically organized like this is all transformers, ZWs, KWs, 1033s, 1032 transformers that we rebuild and sell.
Oh, wow.
If we need, when we're working on one, if we need parts, we go for these for our parts. This is over here. This is all our cannibalized frames and so forth for locomotives. So if we need a part pre-war, post-war, this is where we come to get a lot of our stuff. It's not worth sometimes to the damage that's on it when we receive it, whether it's complete or not, to redo it. So we cannibalize it and use it for other repairs and so forth. So we have a good amount of stash on things of that nature, which is why, you know, if somebody calls up looking for a part, we have to dig through things like this, and it's sometimes it's just not worth it to us time-wise to find things for somebody. Some of these parts are like $1, $2 a piece, and we might spend a half hour finding it.
Yeah, so it's
not worth it to us.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
MTH, these are MTH accessories here that are non-operational, again, that we use for parts, whether it be gears or micro switches or whatever.
Okay. Because sometimes parts gotta become obsolete at one point or
yes,
time.
That's correct. This is all track, basically. This is all 022 switches. Then you have all down there, you have all bridges up top. that are all for sale. We have what are these? Pier sets. Tons of these things. This is all G-gauge track.
Just take a walk down here. Since we're already here, G-gauge. Look at all that. Still in boxes, too.
A lot of these are all the pier trestle sets and pier sets and so forth. These are all complete.
So you guys are selling all this?
Yeah, these are for sale. But before they go out for sale,
okay,
we'll open it up to make sure all the parts are here.
That makes sense.
Okay, just to double check everything.
So you guys got to go through it first,
We have to go through everything before it goes out for sale.
Which is why it's here. Okay.
Yep.
So this is like a pre-inspection, or
That's correct.
Okay. Something else. Okay, let's go do.
And this is basically accessories.
Accessories, all right. Look at all this.
Again, before they go out for sale, everything is double checked to make sure it works. Obviously, the lights are all there. Some, you know, this one has to be put back on and so forth. Here's one without lights. So we'll build one for the customer or to go out for sale.
Wow.
So you need a milk car stand. Look behind you.
What? Oh, look at all the milk carts. Wow.
All these.
This is crazy. You got tanks, you got derricks.
All derricks. Les has most things labeled of what's inside the box. Not everything, but most of them.
Yeah, that looks like a horse corral.
That's a horse corral.
Yeah.
There's quite a few horse corrals. There's a whole bin. There's all those corrals back there.
Wow, there's even more.
Oh yeah. It's not like we don't have any of them.
Oh my.
Then you all these things.
All the cranes.
Cranes, different variations, a couple different variations
I
of
mean,
cranes
look,
in there.
there's got to be a ton of cranes in here.
A couple more here, different pieces, colors, stacks, no stacks.
Command control culvert unloader. I didn't know that. Lionel, you've made that.
Yeah, I did.
Command control. Huh?
I did a layout with both of those on there.
That's pretty neat. I never knew that was even made. Command control.
Yes.
So this will be out for sale too?
Yeah, we again, all this goes out for sale. We just got to double check it.
Yeah.
It's all.
Wow.
And then you got these things here.
A voice. Audio engineer. Micro. I ain't never seen anything like that before.
Basically, it's a set of points in here. So when you talk into this, your breath opens and closes the points, which starts and changes the direction of the engine because they got an E unit in there. That's all that it is, and it's all show.
Wow.
But we got a couple of these things. We got 3 of them right here.
I've never seen one before.
Yeah. They work once in a while, not all the time.
What are those things up there?
Those are coal loaders.
Coal loaders, yeah. This is unbelievable. The got tower buildings here.
Then look behind you here.
Got behind me. Oh yeah, gate man.
Then you got your crossing butt.
Jeez. Wow, they're stacked all the way back to that.
027 switches.
Anytime if you're going to take something apart, as long as you know how to put it back together.
Wow.
256 and 356 stations. You need one? We have them.
All in the boxes too.
Some are in the boxes, some are not in boxes. And you got the talking stations. I forget the manufacturer of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can always make a new one.
The ramp set.
Yeah, There's ramps there, and behind you there's more.
Oh yeah.
We have like washers too.
There's some in the original boxes. We have a couple trains.
I guess so.
But you know, if you're gonna take something apart,
And this is the HO stuff over here. This is mainly HO graveyard in here. All
Okay.
this, and then you back your shipping for your boxes and so forth in his way.
You guys got quite the operation here, that's for sure.
These are pieces that we just acquired in here that have not made it yet over into the other side. They have to be evaluated, then they go to Dow, then she puts them on the computer and so forth, and then from there it goes back out for sale and so forth, if it's in one piece and if it works. If not, it goes into the graveyard with the other parts.
Well, it's always good to have stuff for parts too.
Yes.
So it's not like it's going to get tossed. It will be salvaged for
Correct.
parts.
All this back here. This is problems. These are problems. These are more things here. Again, in boxes that have to be gone through. All this is eventually going to be for sale.
Now, as we're looking at this, just keep in mind they do repairs on everything from it's a pre-war to
Pre-war to modern stuff.
to modern
Yeah.
with boards. So
Yeah.
whatever you have, they're
Here's some starter sets in boxes. We just sold a couple of starter sets the other day in boxes. This is all Marks and American Flyer. Again, everything's got to be gone through and checked before it goes out for sale.
what is Ferris wheel?
That's it. Believe it or not, that's LGB. Okay, they made a series back in the mid 90s of Ferris wheel and a merry-go-round that was sold through LGB. This is obviously the Ferris wheel and parts that I have to put back together again. And then up top there, past the flag, is the other one sitting all the way up top there in the corner.
Okay.
That's the other one from this set.
I like the little signals that are over
Yeah,
there.
those are from a live steam outdoor layout.
They're pretty nice. So you guys get to see the whole entire repair shop.